Welcome to Act 3 of Nuns on the Bus here at the Capitol. Act 1 was our 2,000 miles, 7-state, 33 events the 2 weeks prior to Pope Francis coming. I'd like to claim Act 2 as Pope Francis. Wasn't that amazing? And Act 3 is having folks, sisters, and our friends from around the country here to go lobby on Capitol Hill. We've known for years that tomorrow is the last day of the 2014-15 federal budget. We've known for years that Congress had to put a budget in place before midnight tomorrow night. We've known for years that we're struggling to care for people that are left out of our economy and left out of our care. We've known for years that we have to bridge the divide and come together. But the news is a little late in coming in getting into the offices and into that building behind me. We're here to say that the time is now to get their work done. We're here to say that we, the people, demand bridging the divides, as Pope Francis challenged us to do, to make government again the noble occupation and the exercise of serious responsibility. It may be they've averted a temporary shutdown of the government, but they haven't done their job. So we're going up on Capitol Hill today to say, please, we the people demand that you do your job. You do it in some very specific ways by lifting what we call the sequestration cap, which just means adequately funding the programs that we care so much about for folks that are left out. We're going up on the Hill to say, make the earned income tax credit permanent and include the improvements that were instituted in 2009. We're saying, we, the people, demand that also the child tax credit get included in this. There's a lot of conversation about business tax breaks, but what we know from our trip around the country is business tax breaks benefit those at the top. We're here for our people who struggle, who work every day to make ends meet. So we're going to share a few stories of what we've learned from the bus, and then we're going to be prepared to walk into that building or into the office buildings around and bring our message to our representatives. And it is my great pleasure to introduce Sister Eucharia Madweke, who, Sister Eucharia, was on our bus and told me she was shy. She couldn't talk. And so she didn't talk for the first 2 days. But then she said, I'll talk the third day. She got up in front of the audience and within 3 seconds had them eating out of her hand. And I said, Sister Eucharia, I don't believe you anymore. So we're really excited that she is willing to share her perspective, her stories from the bus. Sister Eucharia.
Well, Sister Simone, thank you. I am still very shy. I think it's something in nature, but I have to talk. So my name is Sister Eucharia Madweke. I'm a sister of Notre Dame de Namio from Nigeria. I am a network associate, and I work with network because I believe in the mission and vision of network. And I look forward to taking my experience back to Nigeria, what I learned in network back to Nigeria, to see how we can improve our ministry in Nigeria. Before I came to US, it was my understanding that America is a place where everyone thrives, where communities live in health, good health, have enough nutritious food, get decent and well-paid job, affordable education, good health care, and good housing. I understand that American government exercise moral responsibility, building and protecting the dignity of everyone living in America through funding projects that meet the need of the people. So this was my understanding coming to America while I was in Nigeria. I also understand that American government has funded a lot of programs, life-saving programs, all over the world, including Nigeria. No wonder many people want to, come to America, because they believe that America is where people are cared for. But unfortunately, traveling these 13 days on bus, I heard heartwarming stories. Communities that are working hard to make sure that what we know about America happen. I also heard a lot of stories that I couldn't imagine this happening in a country that has a lot of wealth, and even sharing their wealth with other people. Some of the stories I heard, I cannot tell all, but I'm going to pick one that was told to us when we visited the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. The CEO and the chair of this food bank told us a story of a woman who came to take some food. He offered this woman some peach to eat. But the woman looked at the peach and said, "Thank you, but I'm not going to eat this." He wanted to find out why. Is this, my peach is not good enough for eating or what? But she responded, it's not my turn today to eat. It is another person's turn to eat. What a sad story. In a country that has plenty, that people have to choose not to eat so that others in her family will eat. And this woman is not just an ordinary woman, a woman that has no job. She works. She does her own part to contribute to the economy of this country. But she has to do that by choosing not to eat, so that the food will get to others. Others will eat. That's not really a story that my people will want to hear about America.
Not at all.
He also told us that in the food pantry, then he feeds 22,000 families, individual families in America. This shows that people are hungry. I can't imagine a food pantry feeding so much, this number of people in the family. But one good thing we also heard from him, which was very, very edifying to me, was that all these people that come to his food pantry, they are not there to grab food. They only come because they are hungry. They only take what they needed. To the extent that out of 80% of people who come to his food pantry, they just come 5 times a year or even less. So this is a kind of showing that they're not coming because they want to grab the food. They're only coming because they're hungry. Hearing that story makes me feel that it is wrong and immoral in the land of plenty that some people will have to go without food for a day because they can't afford that food. So we know that the responsibility of every government is to protect and build the dignity of its people. Everybody in America living in this country should be protected. Their dignity should be restored. They shouldn't be going around asking for food. They shouldn't be going around looking for where to get food. They should have access to healthy food. But what we are seeing is that the Congress, instead of funding programs that will be able to provide the need of the people, they are rather choosing to fund killing machine, which is wrong as non-American. It is wrong for us to fund killing machines. It is better for us to fund programs like the Ohio Food Bank, the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. It is better for us to fund Grow Ohio Valley, a small farm in Wheeling, Virginia, that provides fresh food 6 times a day to 20 stops in a highly poverty-stricken area in West Virginia. So what am I saying in essence? If we want security, as Pope Francis said, we must work for security. We must work for food security. If we want to make our society feel safe, people must be provided for. We must fund all those programs that will provide security for our people. Pope Francis also used the idea of golden rule. Do to others what you will want done to you. I don't know any one of us here who want to go around begging for food. I don't know any one of us who want to skip meal because he wants the members of the community, the members of the family to have enough. So if we don't want this for others, why wouldn't we fund those programs that will give food to others? So I'm urging all of us to join hands to ask the Congress that charity begins at home. We got to take care of people at home before we stretch out to other countries. I'm not against providing life-saving programs to other countries, but we have to look at home. We have to begin our charity here at home before we can, send charity to others. We have to fund projects that makes for life, not the ones that kill life, remove life. Thank you.
I still don't believe you're shy. And now it's my honor to introduce to you one of our sisters that has come to lobby here on the Hill, Sister Jean Ann Zappa. Sister Jean Ann is from Louisville, Kentucky, and is going to share some of her experience. Sister Jean Ann.
I'm an Ursuline sister from Louisville, Kentucky, and I minister in a small faith-based ministry called Shively Area Ministries. And Shively has a population of about 48,000 people, and last year we helped 32,000 people of that 48,000 people. Every day I meet people who seek help struggling with daily living, trying to make ends meet, paying their rent or utility bills, caring for their children, while holding down a minimum wage job. Since the budget cuts, the number of families we serve in our food pantry has increased from 400 to 800 families a month. Food insecurity in Louisville, Kentucky is dramatically increased, and it is a crisis. The food banks can't keep up with all the need that they have to have people request the food. We also have seen an increase of families needing help paying their utility bills since LIHEAP funding was cut. Many of our clients who are making it okay before the budget cuts are now struggling tremendously. Many of our clients are the working poor. I'd like to talk about a couple named Jerry and Ann. And last November, Louisville had snow, which was unusual. And it was cold. And so last November, Jerry and Ann came to us asking for help to pay their utility bill. They and their 2 children were without heat for 3 weeks. Ann was laid off and Jerry was on sick leave without pay. Another client, John, who has a full-time job and decent living wage, needs help with food. His pay could not support his family of 4 children. I see the effects of LIHEAP and SNAP budget cuts in the lives of people every day in all of our clients. LIHEAP and SNAP and other human needs programs have to be restored so that the dignity and quality of life are also restored for everyday folks, like Jerry and Ann, who struggle with their basic needs. Pope Francis called on Congress to support the dignity of citizens and promote the common good. I call upon Congress, especially my senators, Paul and McConnell, to take action to support and secure the common good and quality of life for Ann and Jerry and for all the people they represent. Thank you.
Also on our bus this year was Sister Rochelle Friedman, who works with the Coalition of Human Needs, one of our anchor coalitions here. So in a double role as a nun on the bus and from the center, I think. I'd like to introduce and welcome Sister Rochelle Friedman.
Thanks so much, Simone. 2 weeks ago, the Census Bureau released new data. In ours, the wealthiest country in the world, 48 million people are poor, and almost 22% of children live in families who are under the poverty line. Government programs do make a difference. 10 million people were helped out of poverty by the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Refundable Child Tax Credit. 4.7 million fewer are poor because of SNAP. Housing subsidies lifted 2.8 million above the poverty line. Our bus trip was a listening tour. The stories we heard broke our hearts. In Kansas City, we heard from Malika, who's raising her young child and making $11.25 an hour working at Taco Bell. She still cannot pay her bills, provide housing and child care, and make ends meet. So she relies on some government assistance. David from Garden City, Kansas, with tears in his eyes, said, "I don't want my children to hear me asking for help. I've never had to in my entire life. But now I don't have the ability to pay my light bill." In response to these stories, we often heard, "What does this say about us as a nation?" Our social safety net is weak and becoming weaker as deficit reduction focuses on cutting programs critical to the most vulnerable among us: housing, education and training, child welfare, low-income energy assistance. Shortly, the sisters behind me from 10 states will fan out to meet in offices of their elected officials with the message that they must end the sequester cuts for domestic programs and make permanent the positive changes to the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit. Pope Francis, such a marvelous example of caring about people who are poor, challenged Congress to listen to the poor and then follow the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I pray that our public officials will listen to the cries of their people and that they will act to alleviate those struggles. No one should have to live with daily anxieties around supporting their families like Michaela and David and millions of other families in our wealthy nation.
We know that Pope Francis last week got to speak to Congress, or had the honor and responsibility of speaking to Congress a message of what was very powerful for me to be in that chamber and to hear it directly from him. But I know that some of our allies in the chamber felt nourished by his call to really respond to the needs of those around, to live the golden rule, to know that both Abraham Lincoln, Dr. King, Dorothy Day's, and Thomas Merton's quest for justice, dialogue, rooted in a contemplative space are what our nation is about. And it's my honor to introduce one of our allies in that quest, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro. I'd like to welcome you from Connecticut, and we have a Connecticut person here, to the stand.
Thank you so much. What an honor it is for me to be here with all of you. You really energize our spirit. I say it all the time, you're the wind beneath our wings here, and we thank you so very, very much. It's a joy to be with you. To you, Sister Eucharia, Sister Jean Ann, Sister Rochelle, to all of the nuns on the bus, it's great to have you here at the place where these decisions are made and to hear your loud voices about what we should do at the United States Congress. And 4 tours of duty, I tell you, there's no one like you. You do have strides. And a reflection, because last Thursday was a very, very special day. A very special day here, where His Holiness Pope Francis told the Congress, and I quote, "The fight against poverty and hunger must be fought constantly and on many fronts, especially in its causes." In its causes. That fight is your fight. And you have made the impassioned calls for social justice, immigration reform, voting rights, environmental responsibility, and political bipartisanship. And you are having an impact on our politics. And I mean that very sincerely. Quite honestly, it is why Sister Simone was in the gallery. In the gallery. There is and others who are out there. And as part of this effort, because we know the power that you have. But I love the way the New York Times puts it. Who doesn't love a feisty nun? I thought that's great. Great. Amen. Right. You arrive at a moment, a very important moment in our national conversation. Last week in his inspiring speech, which I had the honor of attending, the Pope Francis urged the Congress to put aside our partisan differences, work together to serve the most vulnerable, especially immigrants and those struggling with poverty. And if I just take a personal second, as he opened with his commentary on foreigners, and I say this with a lot of emotion, and that we shouldn't revert to the abuses of the past with regard to foreigners. I say that with emotion and with tears because so many years ago my dad came as a foreigner from Italy, and we are all immigrants, and we should never lose sight of who we are and where we come from in this country. He spoke so glowingly about Dorothy Day, the founder of Catholic Worker and a tireless transformative campaigner for social justice in America. And he cited Thomas Merton, who wrote that, quote, "Pride makes us artificial and humility makes us real." On the other hand, there are strong voices in the Congress who say just the opposite. They do not believe that government should try to help the poor. They want to dismantle the structures we have put in place over the years to support low-income people. And they are unwilling to work with the other side or even listen to different points of view. So much for listening to the Holy Father's message. It now looks like we will be able to fund the government for the next few months with a continuing resolution. But that just postpones the fight for another day. December 11th will be here before we know it, and I will bet you that we are facing the same issues that we just faced last week. So many Americans are struggling. You found that. The reality of that you found on the road. These are not stories that are made up.
Right. They're people we know.
They're people. And people we know. And we have set up a system here in the process where there are arbitrary structural caps that take money away from the programs that people rely on. And this only exacerbates the staggering inequality that exists in our country. And the day we found out about Speaker Boehner, who was going to resign at the end of October, I was standing before the caucus, and I wanted to remind my colleagues in the caucus that on September 30th, food stamps benefits would come to an end. And you've all spoken eloquently about feeding people. And that it wasn't like 2 years ago when we had the money for the economic recovery program to cover this. That the $3 billion in the contingency fund was not going to be enough. And that people needed to know this. Well, we need to keep talking about that over and over and over again, because that's what we are going to face in December, and people need to know what those consequences are. When you think about what they would do with these spending caps, young child from a low-income family has a vocabulary 1/3 of that of a middle-income child. Nearly 2/3 of 4th and 8th grade students are reading below grade level. Yet our flagship programs for poor young children are failing to meet the need. Head Start reaches barely 4 in 10 eligible children. Early Head Start reaches less than 1 in 20. Unemployment among African Americans is at 9.5%, nearly double the rate for the population as a whole. Nearly 7 million people want to work full-time, but can only find a part-time job, and yet we are starving the job training programs. Students from high-income families are 8 times more likely to obtain a bachelor's degree by age 24 than students from low-income backgrounds. Yet programs like the Federal Work Study program and others have seen huge cuts since 2010, and the majority in the House of Representatives is proposing to cut the Pell Grant program as well. This is systematic neglect. It could not come at a worse time for working families, because working people's paychecks have been stagnant or shrinking for over 30 years. Millions of families are struggling to afford even the basic essentials: preventive health care, quality child care, and healthy food. And by failing to fund the priorities that help support working families, we gamble. We gamble with their lives, their livelihoods, their health, and their futures. Because let me just tell you, the folks who sit in these chambers, they're not struggling at all. And their families are not struggling. And they have no idea what is going on in the lives of American families today. This has got to stop. We've got to realize that budgeting is not just about ones and zeros on a spreadsheet. It is an expression of the values of our nation. And it is, quite honestly, the reflection of the values of the social justice that our Catholic Church has so richly defended over the years. And right now, we fail to value our children, our workers, our students, our medical researchers, our families, and millions of others. We can change this picture. We have seen it many times. The Congress responds to pressure from the outside. So to the advocates and the activists who are here, keep it up. The rallies, the bus tours, lobby the Congress, make your voices heard, because together we will repair the damage and we can restore compassion to our budget. As Pope Francis told us last week, and I quote again, "A good political leader is one who, with the interests of all in mind, seizes the moment in a spirit of openness and pragmatism." That is exactly what the nuns on the bus are all about. God bless you, and thank you for asking me to be here with you today.
That is exactly what we have to do. We are going to carry the message of our people to the offices, to the staff, to the members that we see today. I'm struck mostly by Chloe, who I met in Evansville, who came up to me in one of the town halls when there was a big discussion going on in small discussion groups, and she came up to me and she said, I was a little afraid to say one of the things that I'm worried about is a divide. And I said, well, what's that? She said, it's the cost of going to college. I know so many friends from high school who aren't going to college because they don't want to add to their family's debt. That's wrong in the richest nation on earth, that our most creative, innovative, enthusiastic young people are curtailing their education for fear for their families. We, the people, must insist that change. We're better than this as a nation. Pope Francis challenged us to that quest for the common good. It doesn't mean that my particular pet issue gets totally left aside, but what it means is we have to find the common way forward, where in that place where all of our people can thrive. Too often it's those with power, money, who only know their own story are the ones who make those decisions. Thank you, Congresswoman DeLauro, for bringing the stories of others. And thank you to my sisters and brothers. As you can tell, these are nuns on the bus and friends. But I would like to commission you all to take your stories, to be the voice, to create this new possibility in our nation. Pope Francis gave us a window, an opportunity, a very narrow window to say we can come together. You're now missionaries of that story, of that opportunity to say we the people are better than this. Blessings on you. May the Spirit of the Lord inspire you. Trust the words that are given. Don't second guess yourself. Know that the Spirit is alive and well within you. And together we can make mischief that will heal our society. So let us go forth and make mischief today on the Hill. Thank you so much.